Hello and welcome to the bi-weekly Project Koala meeting. Today is Wednesday, May 21st, and we are in beta 1. Yahoo! After a lot of work with a lot of people involved, we have reached a level where we can actually start implementing. I'm very proud of that and grateful for all your contributions. Steve, I don't know that you haven't got much of a voice, but is there anything you want to prioritize saying with the resources you have, or should we just skip the reporting from other groups?
Yeah, I just want to kind of remind you, we had a lot going on within the last month, but we do need to establish those TG1 calls. So let's sync offline on that and get that kind of on the calendar.
You and I have a month-old decision about doing that, so
Yes.
we need to remind each other to get that done. Beta 1, I understand there was some confusion. Beta 1, we set that for giving implementers a starting point, saying we're ready for implementation, but it's not a preview of the full standard that's going to go ahead in ECMA standardization. We still have missing pieces and things we need to add and clarify. So I think we need to communicate that as well. I see we have Chris with us. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Ali, how you doing?
Just fine. So we were discussing setting up a new workshop to work on practical issues. I've seen that we have issues in the tracker. We have discussed in Slack. I would like to run one, and since Steve doesn't have much energy to protest, I would like to plan that in the morning Swedish time to allow for Asian participation, so we can discuss the publication API and other things. Next week, many of us will be in Barcelona or en route to Barcelona, so we can't have a meeting then. Steve, by the way, we need to take a note that we're in Barcelona. We have a TC54 meeting planned. We may want to revise that particular meeting.
Yeah, I've got to reschedule because I think it's a German holiday anyway, so I need to reschedule it anyway.
Yeah, it's a Swedish holiday too. So, how about the week after, the first week of June? Can we decide on a date? Maybe Tuesday morning?
Yeah, I'll publish a thing in the TC54 private channel.
Yep, yeah. But I moved to the Koala workshop.
Oh, sorry.
That was just a quick reminder as I moved through the almanac. But a workshop for Koala, morning time Europe.
Yeah, sounds good.
Tuesday the 3rd. Pavel,
Yep.
would that be
Morning time
way too early for you?
Morning time Europe, I'm afraid midnight for me, and so
yeah,
something like that.
But we need to take notes and make sure. But
if you make recording, I can enjoy the show later, but I don't think I'll participate.
There's not going to be singing or dancing. I'm sorry, but
that's disappointing. That's not what I expected.
That's going to be Barcelona, but hopefully that's not going to be recorded.
I think the most important thing is, will someone from Asia or Australia join? Otherwise, we can do it in the afternoon.
We have members I've been discussing with, Chris from Australia, so we need to have this meeting. We have seen a lot of activity now today, actually, in the publication part in a pull request that we need to agree on. So I would assume 9:30 or something like that. I'll discuss that with Chris, unless we can get information now. And I'll send out information in the Slack channel. Do we need to set time for another workshop working on beta 2 after the hackathon? Possibly, I would say. That week of June, we have Koala working group. On Wednesday, I have a national holiday on Friday. Could possibly do late Thursday, or I think it's better the week after then, where we haven't got a regular Koala meeting. Thursday the 12th afternoon. Would that work?
You can. Yeah, it's good for me. I don't have anything yet.
Yeah,
Valerio, Piotr, Chris, Mark.
yeah, I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we can do some more asynchronous work too.
Yep. I mean, we need to discuss work with pull requests and merge stuff and move on.
Yeah, because
we learned how to do it. We had really good workshops.
when we have a
before.
meeting.
Yeah. Hackathon in Barcelona, haven't had a single second to plan things. I expect that we will get some newcomers, so we have to bring them up to speed. But then start discussing implementations and see code and see if we have any implementations on a client or on a server that we can interoperate with. I hope that we will have network enough in the room so I can set up a Zoom meeting. I will then publish it on the Slack channel, or I can publish it in advance. We won't have a lot of AV equipment, projectors and everything, but I'll bring a decent conference microphone, one of these pucks that you have. So I hope we can enable remote participation. How many registrations do we have, Steve?
Let me check, and I'll put that in the chat. Give me a few moments. Okay, it looks like we have 10 responders. And that does not include you or I. And those 10 represent, let's see, 4 represent commercial companies, 5 are representing open source projects. The other ones, there's kind of overlap in terms of both commercial and open source. Some are just attending for their own individual personal projects. So yes.
Cool. If you can provide me with that list offline, that would be
Yes, will do.
Okay, sounds great. I see a question in the chat. Sorry, I missed that, Steve. Discovery, yes. Discovery and all the current documents, really. The thing we put on hold because we didn't have enough time and focus, and important contributors to that part took a break. They had kids and stuff. is the publication API, but we need to get back to the publication API now that we have the rest in pretty good shape, I think. But discovery is definitely included. Okay, so we have set up meetings. That's good. For those of you that are here, have you started doing any implementations? Do you have any experience to share or?
I have one question is though I think we need to close issue 151 that is decide on unique version for beta 1. So basically the concern is that people will start implementing beta 1 and we so far have not changed the version at all of OpenAPI spec.
Oh,
the document.
I took your discussion and I added a version to the tag. Didn't you discover that?
To which tag, sorry?
I set a beta tag and I randomly picked something you.
Oh,
I
but
thought.
okay, but the spec itself has a version. I mean the spec file, which is
Okay, then we
different,
need.
and that is confusing.
What is the tag version then?
I mean, we can use the same that you did, but we need to retag it then.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'm fine with the 010 beta 1. It's just we need to update I can push it to the file if everybody's okay with that. Further, are you okay or because
I mean, yes. So we can have the same number in the spec and the document.
So sorry, I missed that, but this was the first tag release, so I guess we're learning.
So this is the number just to.
Yeah, there is a
Ole, I'll
Yeah.
make. I don't know. Can you remove tag in GitHub? Do you know?
Yeah.
Yes, you
I
can.
can delete a tag and push it.
Yeah.
They're not immutable.
I think that's yeah. I think that's
You can make them immutable.
a hidden feature of GitLab, which is widely discussed.
Okay, so further this I put it in
the-
chat. This is going to be the version. Everybody okay with that? 010
Yep.
beta 1.
Yeah.
I prefer a dot between beta and 1, so for sorting reasons. But yeah, it's,
Okay.
not have more than 9 betas. So, but semantic
No.
version suggests to have a dot between beta and 1.
Okay. Thank you.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
Ollie,
fix that.
you're good.
Yeah. I'm good if you're good.
10. So
Okay,
it's syntactically sorted, but numerically.
So
okay, good. I'll make a PR right now for the file, and then you'll do the tag thing. Okay, Ollie.
yep.
Okay.
We have 2 tags. We have the beta tag and we have an old tag with that includes the BOM Exchange API that we removed from the repo. But if someone wants to go back in time and look at that, there's a tag before we started removing stuff. Okay, good. That's I just want to take a note. So it's dash beta dot 1. Okay.
Yep. Okay, I'm pushing the change.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but by the way, I insist on the dot, and my log4j releases are without the dot. But I say I will not make more than 9 betas, then the sorting is okay.
Yeah. As long as I get the billing address, because I'm out of dots, I need to get funding for more dots.
By the way, Semver is not opinionated regarding those dots, but personally, I don't really care. Like
Okay.
Semver standards doesn't put any
No,
requirements.
Semver says how you sort the part after the
Oh yeah.
and they
Oh,
say
I see what you mean. I see your point. Yeah.
if it's numerical, it's sorted numerically. If it's it contains letters, that's in sorted
Yeah.
so,
Okay,
but
so pull request is in 157.
Yep.
so
I'll
beta
take a look after the meeting on that.
Sounds good.
Do you have any more issues from implementers? Any feedback?
So from me, I can say that we didn't do anything for the discovery part, but maybe we'll do later. For API, mostly looks good. I mean, nothing right now to report other than a bunch of issues that I reported for the future in the tracker, but none of them like blocking. And yeah, the one thing that we need to discuss probably later is signature that I didn't report, and I think you all know about it. So we have a field for artifact signature URL that in our implementation we're just skipping right now. But that's something we need to discuss, how we sign things and stuff like that. Also,
I have a PR open since a long time. I need to take a look at that again, but let's do that for beta 2.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can report a separate issue for that unless you find. Yeah, but other than that, I think it's good, and I'll share with the group hopefully very early next week. Like I mean our implementation, so you can take a look.
Yeah. Great. I played around with OpenAPI generators and so, and it generates a lot of docs and cool stuff, and I'm going to play with that as well. See what we can get out of that. But I would like to get we discussed in the chat if we could get a test data set. Remember that, Paul?
Yeah, so same thing. So the way our implementation is going to work for the beta, it will be like there'll be no authentication. You can just browse stuff and you can essentially take data from there. We'll put some permissive license on the data. The only thing to download actual artifacts, you would need authentication. So we'll give you the URL, but you'll need the authentication. But you will be able to authenticate, just register on the website and download. That's the only caveat.
But we discussed defining and documented reference data set that we could use in a test framework. So if people build their own servers, we can have the same shared data set. So the test client can assume some things in the test data set, right?
Yeah, so again, we will, for our data, my data, will make it permissible, so people will be able to use it for other implementations. That's fine.
Yeah, we probably need one within the repository as well, but let's continue. I took a note of
the question is how you format. The question is how you format it, because right now it's in the API. So somebody needs to, like, do you just want to store JSON? Like, that's a little bit unclear to me. And plus there are a bunch of SBOMs that need to be downloaded.
Yep.
So somebody needs to organize that for now, because we have it organized on our platform, but then question whether it's even useful or not to make it like JSON stuff. I'm not sure. But we'll basically we'll make available what we have, and then if other have better ideas or suggestions, then that's perfect.
We'll figure it out later, but
Sounds good.
I see Chris added a few links in the chat. I need to capture them in the.
Yeah, I think we'll go with something like JSF. So the reason for the external signature is because it was done this way before, so we can reuse some legacy signatures. But
Well, SPDX and many other documents require external signatures, but the external signature wasn't required, right? It's an optional field because CycloneDX can have signatures within the CycloneDX file in line. So we just have to figure that out and get a test data set defined, and I'm sure we can define.
We also need to discuss how to distribute root keys, so trust keys.
Yeah, that's what my pull request is about, and again, please go through it so we can start discussing it.
Can you link it, or are you looking for the?
Yeah, it's been open for ages. I postponed that because we needed to get something out for Barcelona. But I will push it through. Now we have it in beta
Oh,
2
it's that
planning.
the oldest one, right? 21.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
Okay, I'll review.
I probably need to review it myself and update.
Yeah.
But I had many external parties go through it and a few meetings. Sorry, Peter, again.
Apache, the Apache trusted releases will attach GPG keys to releases, so probably we need something like a key per product.
Yeah, but let's discuss the details in a future workshop, because I also would like to invite a few people I've been discussing this with from, for instance, the Skit working group in IETF. They have a lot of ideas. We have the 6-store people in OpenSSF. I also know the open source project EEBCA here in Sweden. So we can, if we set up a focus meeting, I think we can get opinions from people who are really involved. And I would like that. Okay. The test data set. Pavel. Okay, cool.
I might try to generate something for JA Commons too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to say you had a pull request with some data in it as well, so
yeah,
we can look into that, using that as well.
Yeah, that was written manually, and yeah, it's not scalable.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure we can find artifacts and stuff and compose something. It doesn't that doesn't have to be the proper SBOM for the proper version, as long as we can emulate something. I'm curious about events in the fall. We have the Nordic Software Summit that I'm working on in Stockholm. Steve is still very much invited. You can get Swedish fish, real fish over here, and you will feel better, happier in your life by visiting Stockholm. But apart from that glorious event, what more events do we have that we know about in the fall, which could be interesting to speak about tea or show tea?
I'm gonna still try to make that happen on my side.
Thank you. Any other conferences? We have, of course, Linux Foundation, OpenSSF. In Amsterdam, I think the call for papers for Open Source Summit is gone, but there's still a call for papers for the OpenSSF Europe Day. It's a single day. I think this is August, sometime in Amsterdam. If anyone wants to speak about Koala there, I would be very happy. or at least propose something.
OWASP Global AppSec is in November, November 6th and 7th. I posted the link in the chat.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Do you dare go in there nowadays?
I
Sorry.
don't know. We'll see.
I was
I
about
just had to ask.
the same thing. You know, for those brave enough to travel to the USA.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges. Not surprisingly, given the current administration and our European and other international friends. If there are things that normally as a board member, I would not submit a call for paper. But if there is something that we absolutely need to talk about and there's reluctance to come for whatever reason, let me know. Just ping me offline and we can put together a response to the CFP.
We should probably plan a hackathon.
So I can come to Washington, no problem. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, unless you go hiding for the winter.
No,
in
we have US border at Canadian airport, so there is like no risk for me.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Many years ago, we had a SIPIT event in China. I couldn't go, but friends that went, they bought new computers, no cell phones, because they couldn't bring any corporate information. Now I hear the same routines apply when people from Europe go to US, and that's interesting. But yeah, any other conferences, events?
I do know that the CISA SBOM community, according to Alan, is trying to gather, is trying to do another SBOM hackathon. Although according to Alan, it's not going to be an in-person event like it was last year. There's zero travel budget for those folks. So they're going to make a virtual event this year. I just don't know when it's going to be. So as soon as I find out, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I heard that as well. We had a presentation, by the way, on Koala Beta at the SBOM community weekly meetings a while ago, and we got very positive feedback. We were invited by Alan, so we have a friend in Alan Friedman. That's good to know.
So for this Washington event, is anybody from the group preparing CFP or what, like, I mean, or Steve, are you going to present yourself? Like how?
I
Because
normally
I can
would
submit
not.
one.
I can talk at the, it's not a rule against it. I mean, there's no policy preventing us. It's just, it doesn't look good. I mean, the optics are not that great. I will likely present at the project track, right? Because I've involved in multiple projects. I think that's very fair. It doesn't go through the whole CFP process. So I do not plan to submit to the CFP, but I can talk about the projects.
So if I submit CFP for that, it's fine for Koala specifically, or?
Absolutely. And I would encourage you to do it. Yeah, if you're going to be there.
Sounds good.
Now, am I right in thinking that the Barcelona hackathon has got nothing, no kind of crossover with CLE? That it was
we got no feedback. I asked the CLE guys, but we got no feedback. If they come, they're invited.
Right, because then you put a hackathon question mark for November. At some point, you know, if a CLE can't join with a hackathon, because you know CLE is going to be reliant on T, isn't it?
No.
Isn't it?
No.
But T is waiting for life cycle information. We're in a meeting with Red Hat, they pointed us towards OpenEUX, but they couldn't release the specification OpenEUX for us to look at yet. We'll see when that comes, but we strongly need some sort of life cycle marker on the version object. So I probably need to reach out, if no one else is doing that, to the CLE team. I see they have a meeting planned. It's not today. They have Wednesday evenings in my reality.
I thought they were Thursday evenings now.
Okay, so they moved. Okay, my almanac is probably not up to date then.
Steve, didn't we move to Thursdays?
Which TG is that again? Is that TG 2 or 3? I can't remember. That's
It's
TG 3, right?
Yeah.
I don't see it on this week's calendar.
Yeah, we had one last week, didn't we?
Yeah. They are meeting. Yeah, they are meeting next Thursday.
Till Thursday.
Yeah, it'll be your evening, Ole.
Yeah,
so if we
in
want to reach out,
Barcelona, yeah.
if we want to reach out to them before then, Jordan and Benji are usually fairly responsive. So
Yeah.
But the second
But,
point about November, is that not getting a bit close, too close to comfort to submission to ECMA? I mean, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? In other
we're
words,
going to have our goal for CLE is to have the standard in a mostly wrapped up state by September 1st. So yeah, the hackathon for CLE is we can test implementations.
Yep.
You know,
But it's
that
not
sort
part
of
of the
thing.
standard process. But
Exactly.
So
But other
hackathons,
things like VERS, for example, are still on the table, right? VERS is not going to be standardized this year. That's a next year thing.
Yep. I think there are multiple groups within OWASP that wants to, and even CycloneDX that wants to be part of the hackathon once they get to learn about it, the method and our experiences. One thing I talked with Lauren about the conference was not a hackathon, but during the Thursday and Friday to use the members lounge for office hours when people can come during the conference and ask us about things. So we'll steal a table, put up some sort of sign, and hopefully Lauren and Star can help us with some bit of information about that. The members lounge when I was in Lisbon was quite dead. So I would like to use it. And we had ideas of using it for Koala, for the CV discussion, and possibly just have an office hour, ask us about CRA or ask us about CycloneDX and see what happens. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me and we'll see if we can be a few people around the table and hopefully at least use LinkedIn as for marketing, but hopefully we can reach out in Slack and other channels. I don't know if there's a Barcelona Slack channel. I haven't investigated that. There probably will be. Otherwise, we'll start one. But do you think that's an interesting idea? Would you participate in a Koala office hour Thursday or Friday if you're coming?
If time permits, sure, I can be there.
Yep. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll just have a chat and quiet time. But if people show up, that I think we can have interesting discussions. We did something similar here in Gothenburg. Me and Salve Nilsson from the Pearl security project. We set up as just a table saying, CRA FAQ, come here and ask questions. And there were people all the time during the breaks and even during sessions. And we had really good discussions. So I was trying to take that idea and see if people show up. So we can try that, but I'll plan some times together with Anthony. But if you're interested, just let me know and we'll see if we can plan more times, or if you want to set up a totally different office hour. Okay. Any more topics to discuss?
Yeah, we
We have a
could
few.
start working on beta 2 then. Yeah, I've been I started a PR on how to add these classifiers for component releases that we removed. So I'll try to submit it today or tomorrow.
Oh, yes. The platform classifiers.
What the idea is if we have, so artifact has a formats array inside that, so release could have a formats array inside that. And so all the different file formats that essentially are the same product would be described there. So
In release.
I think
Okay.
it's good. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, I'll try to make.
I mean, it sounds good. Yeah, I need to see it, but it sounds good.
But this isn't, I thought this was the classifier that we removed temporary for
Yes.
Intel, ARM, all of that.
Yes.
That's not file types of artifacts. I'm confused. Sorry.
Yeah, we removed it for beta 1, so we don't have to discuss it. But yeah, in beta 2 we will need to reintroduce it.
Yes. We removed it for now, so because we didn't have time to finalize, but I mean, it's a good thing to have. It's actually important. But I think the approach sounds good. How Peter described it.
Okay. So classifiers for versions in beta 2.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, like Python that always has 78 forms of the same package.
Yep. That's great. The version stuff we'll fix. We already have a pull request, right? And
yeah, and
we have a few coming events. If you become aware of new events, please just add them in Slack channel, and we'll keep a list going and see where members of this group go, and if we can do something about Koala.
Yeah, I may go to some local events. I mean, local within 500 kilometers from where I live. So, but I'll post if I'll do Koala presentations. I'll post in the group, or I'll let you know, and then you communicate.
Yep. I mean, I've been this week to two private events with Swedish industry CIOs, CISOs. Both of them, I mentioned Koala briefly, just 3 slides. And all of them said, this is a requirement. We need this for our processes, and you need to deliver now. So it really hit a sore spot. And some people approached me saying that, well, we've been looking for this and we didn't find it. So I think we have an opportunity to set the standard here, and we need to really move ahead and fix this. But we've done really good work with beta 1. We had a lot of meetings even over the weekend. I'm really grateful for the effort from all of you. So let's keep that speed. But now, hackathon, evaluate the hackathon and move forward with beta 2.
Yeah, and since we have 15 minutes left, maybe we can continue what we started with Is product and component the same thing? There is we had a discussion on having products pointing to products instead to components, which at the end ended with the big question: is T product and T component really so different, or? So right now, I
Well,
think
we created that because it solved a
Okay.
problem we had. We couldn't solve the problem without separating product and something that is part of the product, because we had these combined packages and things. If you want to make recursive products, so you only have one instance, and that instance can be either versioned or not versioned, but have included components, that's a change. Then we need to reevaluate all the different product cases we had.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
quite a big change. What would
I
the
have a really good
benefit be?
example.
Okay.
Probably the box set example, where you have a product that is a box of multiple components inside.
Yeah, that's the one we've been using with
Yeah.
Philips Hue package with a controller and switch and two lamps. And Piotr's router is another example we have where the router,
Yeah.
it's not a box like that, but the router has hardware, firmware, and operating system, which are different components with different versions.
Yeah, and there we said that this is a product and it contains multiple components. But in the repo we were discussing, okay, but maybe products can have products as children instead of components, or
Yeah, that will be solved because I had that in my presentation that the product could link to another product by using TEI or link directly to a component. So we discussed that before, but I don't think we brought that with us into beta 1.
no, we didn't.
No,
So-
it's conversation post beta 1. I think that's what Peter started.
Yeah.
This is something that
No, but this is way back when we designed the leaf and the product and that stuff.
No,
So-
but yeah, maybe I think everybody should read the discussion in the, how you call it, in the issue that I created. And then maybe today is not the right day, like 10 minutes.
No.
Maybe not enough for that.
No. But the way to approach this, I would presume, is that we take the different examples that we have only in slideware, hidden somewhere deep in the directory in the repository, try to make a markdown file with a list of various imaginary products like Piotr's router and other things. I think in many cases there will be a one-to-one relationship, but we need to solve the problem where there is a one-to-many relationship. And I think we did that, but if we change the model, we need to make sure that we still solve those problems. So if we kind of write this product use cases or product cases down, and then discuss from that model whether we can solve the problem. I can start writing something down if you promise to help me with examples.
I would like the way my approach, how I would suggest to structure this work is basically we're going to have something from beta 1 implementations, hackathons, and that kind of stuff. And likely because I was working with this data for the past, I don't know, couple of weeks. And when everybody does that a little bit, I think those issues would become more clear and everybody would be more on the same page to discuss. That's my approach. This is partly why I don't want to rush it before
No.
everybody has a chance to kind of.
But I think that
get a little dirty.
what you're saying is a process, but you're not opposing to writing down the product cases. I think we in both
Yeah,
methods
I think
we need to start there.
Examples.
No, I think cases are very important. I think what we have is great, and I think if we have more, that's better. But I think we have a gap in the spec as well. What Peter is mentioning, what I opened in the issue on the repository. So
Yeah, but we need before we discuss the specification, we need to go back and make sure we have a proper documentation that is not PowerPoints hidden somewhere, so we can actually base discussion on those real examples.
For sure.
Right.
No, I mean I'm all for it, and I think the process should be exactly we have clear understanding of the state where we are, and then we decide what to do next. This is how I think this should evolve.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. So we are in agreement then.
Yeah.
I think we are in agreement, but I would like to, at this point, document the missing piece that we haven't got in markdown or documentation, which is a couple of examples, because that will also clarify things for a lot of readers and how that maps to the current data model. Because then we will see if we find an example that can't be fit into the current data model, that will cause us to rethink. And while rethinking, we can go back and make sure that we still support all the required use cases, right? Otherwise, we're speculating a bit blindly. Those of us that have been part of the process for a long time, the people in this room, are pretty much aware of the examples we have been reiterating and seen on PowerPoint slides, but other people haven't seen that. So I think that would be a good starting point.
Yeah, I just referenced this issue in the chat because I'm not sure if everybody read that, but yeah, so I think so. That's one of the several issues that I opened, and I think we should get back to all of them after beta 1. So after everybody has a chance to do something with existing spec.
Yeah. Yep. So we need a few use cases there. But I'll start with a document, and I hope that you can join in and add a few more examples so we have a wide range of examples. One thing I learned from the discussions this week was that in the Cyber Resilience Act, there's an exclusion of automotive that really have other regulations. But the big yellow trucks they use to pave the asphalt or other things, those are not included. Those are products with digital elements that are covered by the Cyber Resilience Act. But regardless, both cars and those trucks will need T as well. So we may want to add a big yellow thing that smells of diesel to this example list, just because it's fun. Okay, then we're getting close to the hour. We had really good discussions, and we have a few to-dos. We wish Steve to get better soon, and say thank you for today. See you in Barcelona, some of you, and I'll send out notifications about the workshops, and otherwise we have a regular meeting in 2 weeks. Bye all.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
all.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye,
Have fun
everyone.
in Barcelona.